lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sim Racing Media Network. We are live here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. I am joined tonight, myself as Adrian Santiago, joined tonight by Daniel Paulus. Daniel, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, Angel. What about you?
We're doing pretty good. We're sitting here chatting before, and we almost forgot we had to get started. We're here for the Roughneck Racing Series. For those of you that missed us last week, we do apologize. We did have a last-minute cancellation. One of the Roughneck's own, who usually drives the number 30 truck, James Wagoner, or call him Dougie here. He did have a bit of a health scare last week, and of course decided to take the week off just to give him that opportunity to rest up. He is back home after surgery. He is doing much better, so we are absolutely grateful. Excited to have him watching here tonight. We did mention somebody mentioned that he'd be watching. So Dougie, definitely missing you here out on track tonight, but definitely happy to have you back home.
Great to know that he's back home recovering from a very serious event that has happened to him. And now we are back here live at Atlanta Motor Speedway on the updated configuration. We are not running the old configuration here tonight. So, Angel, we're here at the updated configuration. What are our expectations?
You know what? It's probably a lot of what you could say from the old configuration. A lot of unknowns. You think about the old configuration. The only thing you did know about is really how the trucks were going to be slipping and sliding, and how difficult it was to drive. But I think a lot of people fail to realize that you can really slip and slide quite a bit here, depending on track temp. So we're actually going to go ahead and bring that up for everybody here. And track temp's actually a pretty cool 83 degrees, so we should have a decent amount of grip, which means we should have some nice high-speed action here. So we're going to have ourselves what is essentially a super speedway race at Atlanta, but a super speedway race that really drives in a sense where it's not truly full throttle. You really are having to let off in these turns as these tires wear out. The tires do have a decent amount of wearing, even for a brand new track here, Daniel.
These tires do wear here at Atlanta Speedway, and they always have, and especially on the old configuration, it was like a cheese grater going against those tires. So tire wear is going to play into effect here tonight from Atlanta. And like you mentioned, in these super speedways, it races like a super speedway, but it's not as big as a super speedway, and they're not running full on throttle here tonight. They're going to be letting off through these corners, because if not, they're just going to run over each other. So you want to play with your throttle here. They're going to play with their brakes here as well, but you want to see how your car's going to handle. There is going to be draft, so see how your car's handling, and if you do have to make adjustments, you can make them later on during green flag pit stops, or if we go under caution and have a pit stop.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up, and kind of would have almost forgot about it. But yeah, this is one of those races that really presents themselves for that opportunity for green flag pit stops. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's 75% for the fuel load. So at 75 laps today, going green, we could absolutely see the possibility of a green flag stop.
We could. You never know. It's a super speedway.
Well, and that's what I love about that, is that, and as you mentioned, the super speedway, but at a smaller track type of Atlanta, where the outside here I feel like works far better than it does at other super speedways like Daytona and Talladega, where the outside you could really carry some good momentum, but you gotta have a good group of drivers with you, and you gotta have minimum for the trucks. I think it's usually at least 4, maybe even 5 trucks if you really want to make that outside work.
Yeah, when you're running that outside line, you don't want to have 1 or 2 trucks with you on the outside line. You're going to want to have as many as possible, or be even with the inside line, so that at least you can have a run for the front here and get the lead. Because if you don't have enough trucks behind you, you're not going to get that lead. You're just going to fall all the way to the back. So you're going to want to have your teammates, your manufacturing teammates, and you want to work well and see how these other drivers are around you, because, there's some drivers that trust drivers who have raced with each other before. There are some drivers that have not raced here before, and they don't know how they feel about them. So it's all a matter of when you can work with the driver, or if you're going to work with the driver.
I love that you brought that up, because there are a couple of unfamiliar faces that we do have in the field here. So as we go through this lineup, we do have a little bit of a surprise here before this race gets started, but we're going to go through this lineup briefly here. So the top qualifier tonight, Christopher Barker. Not too surprised there. The man knows how to qualify on pole. He's done it multiple times this season, and he's going to start here tonight. Now, not by much. Jeffrey Ledford, 3/100th of a second off. Absolutely insane how quick. I mean, just the top 6 are within a tenth of a second off. Jeffrey Ledford, again mentioned, outside front row. Row number 2, Stephen Shue and Richard Hartman. Larry Fairman and Tim Richardson, who is driving that number 30 tonight in honor of Doug Wagoner, Dougie there. So big shout out to Tim Richardson for that, out of his usual number 2. Then we have Greg Jolly and Chris Ramsey in row 4. Row 5 belongs to Matthew Gall and Matthew Ace. And then Jerome Cooper and Chad Hawkins round out row number 6.
Row 7, we have Dalton Steele and Jason Kinney. Row 8, we have Rick Baldwin and Paul Walters. Right behind him, we have Jimmy Rowdy, another strong driver in the past few races that we saw here. Johnny Hurst right next to him. Right behind them is Brandon Etheridge and Jonathan Vandenberg.
There you go, exactly. Jonathan Vandenberg rounding out the field tonight. We got 19 drivers, actually only because Paul Walters in that number 16, or shows the number 515 up there. He is our race control tonight, so not going to be entered for that. We're going to do we'll wait for these drivers to go ahead and get settled through here. We're not going to have anything else up on the screen for just a moment. As we got the perfect camera for this. We're going to do a 4 wide salute here for driver of that number 30. Currently, Tim Richardson, of course, but the usual number 30, James Wagoner. Dougie, of course, out tonight, and maybe for the near future with his health scare last week. Again, we are very, very happy to have you back out on track here, James, or have you back home. I'm sorry. We are very excited to have you back out on track here in the near future. And this beautiful 4 wide salute, a tribute to you and what you mean to this league and everything that you do. So a big shout out. I know all these drivers, if they could be here on the broadcast, they'd be saying something for you. Actually, I'd like to go ahead and bring in Tim Richardson while we're at it here. Tim, we're going to go ahead and bring you in here. I think it's only fair and only fitting for you in that number 30 tonight.
What's up, man? How are you?
Man, we're doing good. Love this beautiful 4 wide salute here. We have just the perfect drone cam to just look it over and see all these fantastic looking trucks.
Yes, sir. This race is for the one, the only Big Doug. This is for you, buddy. Get well soon, and we can't wait to have you back on the track with us.
Yes, a big shout out. Thank you very much. We just at least wanted to bring you in here, at least so you can say something for Doug. Of course, we are missing him here tonight. And yeah, so good luck here tonight, Rich. Tim, you have got yourself a pretty good starting spot, I'd say.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do with it.
Sounds good, Tim. Well, good luck tonight.
All right, buddy.
Well, we do know one thing, Daniel, not to take away from this moment whatsoever, but the drivers won't be this 4 wide during the race itself.
They'll be 4 wide probably during this race some point. But I do expect the intensity to ramp up after halfway point.
Got a lot of people written on number 30 here in our YouTube chat. Thank you very much. Again, Tim said yes, he's ready to go win this race for him. But Daniel, you're right. You're going to have these drivers. You're going to see plenty of side-by-side action, 3 wide. Oh, this is the perfect view right here.
Wonderful views.
We'll take a quick brief just pause here. And again, a shout out here for you, Dougie, in this moment. Thank you again for watching. So very, very happy that you are back home. We'll get everybody set up back here to the live as we get lined up side by side again. Should be just fine to get up to speed and get everybody lined up. If they need to, they will extend this caution. Get our grid going. So now from here, Daniel, again, those laps top not quite gonna have 75 total laps. It'll be a quicker race than some might anticipate. How do you prepare yourself through this race? Really, you know that your starting position doesn't matter too much. A lot like some of these other races or super speedway races. Correct. So how do you manage finding what's really going to work for the for your driver and really what your strategy may or may not be in?
Well, my strategy, Angel, is, we're about to go green flag racing here in Atlanta to super speedway. I want to know how my truck is handling, see how it handles when you're side drafting, when you're behind in dirty air, see how it is out front once I get out front. But, if your truck's not handling, don't be in the middle of a pack. That's just, that's the worst case scenario ever, is to not have a truck handling the right way. You're in the middle of a pack drafting. See how your truck handles. As you see, the pace truck is now coming down pit road. And you see Barney the flagman there. Let's go racing at Atlanta.
Man, these trucks, they take just a little bit to get up and going, don't they? It almost feels like
never mind.
A slow-moving train. You said it right after the Geico restarts. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we're not
Race
going.
control playing us again.
Oh, hold on, everybody. Hold on just a moment. I'm over here talking about getting started. No, a slow start. No, hold on. Let's get this right camera now. All right.
Race control's playing us.
Well, there may have been some of the drivers out back maybe weren't able to get lined up correctly from that 4 wide salute, and of course, they want to make sure that everybody's lined up where they should be. Of course, in the most fair way.
Yeah.
So just to let you know what's going on there, Angel, since the pace car passed them on that last parade lap, it didn't recognize the start, so that's why they're going around at pace speed for one more lap.
There you go. That's race control coming in. Thank you very much, Paul.
You're very welcome.
Okay, same song, second verse. Let's try this again, Angel. Truck out of turn 4.
Let's go to Barney.
Into the Geico restart zone. Let's go racing at Atlanta.
There you go. That's the sound of those V8 trucks come flying by as they drive deep here into turn 1 and 2. You see the front 3 start to already. It seems like the outside just did not get going much, or they decided to try to get to the bottom, but the outside lane already suffering as they go down the backstretch off turn or on lap 1.
Like I was saying earlier, before we got this green flag going, is that you want to see how your truck is handling. You see most of these trucks now filing single file on that inside line. That is where the trucks are going to be. And you notice that outside line is struggling a little bit. You see now they're making moves using that outside line, trying to get as many drivers as possible. That is not going to help that outside line at all. Now the inside line is going to have an advantage. You see him coming out turn 2, going down the back straightaway. You see right there is the 30 truck of Tim Richardson.
So we're talking about before the race and how what the plan was going to be for a lot of these drivers, and you mentioned where you really want to see how your truck feels. The outside here is so tricky. The inside is the comfortable one. It's where you know that you're going to be generally safe. It's easier to avoid a wreck when you're down there.
Right.
It's a lot of benefits to that inside. So the outside, it's really tricky, and you see some of these drivers trying to make it work. You got to have, like I said, 4 or 5 trucks, but that second and even the third truck, you have to be aggressively on top of each other. Not necessarily pushing the entire way around the track, but you got to be right with each other if you want to make any type of moves. And right now, of course, it's early in the race. We don't have a need for it, but you'll see them start picking up that pace a little bit as this race goes on. You start seeing them, as you even mentioned earlier on, getting to that right rear quarter panel and trying to use some of that side drive to slow them down.
You're going to see a lot of side driving going on later on in this race. I don't expect these drivers to play... I expect them to play very safe right now, It's only the first half of the race. See how your truck's handling, like I mentioned a million times already. But, see how your truck is. You're going to try different lanes here. You see a lot of truck drivers using that outside line right now, seeing how their truck is handling. You see right there, the 30 of Tim Richardson now moving to the outside line. They're now moving back into the inside line. And that inside line is like your friend. Because like you mentioned earlier, Angel, that outside line is so treacherous because, there's a lot of instances that happen there. You know, you're tapping the wall, you can't run into other drivers, and if you're 3 wide and you're on that top lane and there's nobody behind you, you're going to go to the back. So that inside line is always a positive because you're always going to be in a line no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, and the outside lane, it needs, how do you say, it needs consistency if you really want it to develop. The inside lane can have some kind of mess ups, can have some hiccups and be all right. But you see the outside lane, you see these drivers starting to get a little bit more comfortable, as you mentioned. Now that they know what their trucks are capable of starting to move around and try to see what's going to work. But you got to be careful as well on the inside that you don't catch the apron too much, especially in the middle of the turns where you could really upset the handling of your race truck.
I've seen it from plenty of drivers in these turns on no matter what track, actually. If you're running that inside line and all of a sudden you're on that apron there, it's going to upset your truck so much that that rear is just going to come right around you. You're going to wreck yourself. That is what you try not to do here on these super speedways. But I've seen that a lot of times. It's very unfortunate too because it happens to the leaders sometimes too. But I want to mention earlier right now, the 46 of Christopher Barker has been dominating this season so far in the truck series here, and it looks like he's going to continue that dominance. He won the pole. He's leading laps here again. Can anybody get around him here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably, like you mentioned, your best friend of starting up front here is no track position isn't key. Like, you don't need track position to start. However, it is nice when you can start up front and stay up front and hopefully avoid any possible incidents. And I do like that you did mention, of course, Barker, and so far the season that he's had, it is a battle between him and Jeffrey Ledford really to start at the top of the leaderboard for the standings going into tonight's race. Barker at the top, 2 points ahead of Jeffrey Ledford. Both currently with an average finish of 6 right now, definitely the highest in the league. So they are enjoying themselves a good season right now. And then Matthew Ball, about 20 points behind Tim Richardson. He's quietly had himself a consistently good season where he's now up to 4th. And then, of course, Jimmy Rowdy and his win 2 weeks ago and that emotional victory for him, that was a big jump in the standings to move him up to 5th.
Very tight points battle for the lead here, but it looks like Christopher Barker is going to continue that lead since he's out front right now, only on lap 11 out of 75. These laps, once we're past halfway, I expect them to go by very, very quick, and especially if we get long green flag runs here too, because if we have long green flag runs, it's going to be even more faster. So far, clean racing from all of these drivers. You see some drivers moving the outside line, once again trying to get up to the front, but the organization there from that inside line is just moving so far forward that the outside lane's really not going anywhere but backwards.
Yeah, and that's where I just meant you have to have the consistency for that outside lane, and you gotta have drivers willing to get up and be aggressive to be able to really make it work. So, and again, it's early in the race. Whoa, the 99 of Larry Fairman, he was loose. I don't know if he was just trying to get to the bottom, if he had some side draft that was making his truck a little bit uncomfortable, but I thought he was gonna go sideways and take out half the field there. Great save there for Larry, even if you couldn't see it too well.
Great save by the 99 there.
And so as the drivers, of course, now almost getting themselves single file. Another thing you have to start worrying about here now, 13 laps in, is where do your tires start to sit here at one point, and where do you start feeling it loose? Whoa, 99, I think that's Fairman.
He saves it. Oh, he's in the wall again.
Does a great job. I don't know how he was able to keep it off, like to get it off of the wall without shooting it back into the pack. You know, sometimes on iRacing, you know, once you get into that wall and you try pulling it off, it is like a magnet, and then the only way out is just yanking it to the left. Great job on Larry there.
Larry Fairman, 99, not having the start he wanted to have, losing multiple positions now, losing 10 positions since the start, and now sitting in 15th right now. We're going to have to work his way back up there, but he's on that outside line, so it's going to be very hard for him to get on the inside once again. As you see, we're looking more back here in the pack. Still double wide, trying to use that outside line.
Make sure you're letting us know who you're rooting for in the YouTube chat. At about the quarter-way mark of the race, the third 33% mark, lap 25. We're gonna go ahead and go through the field. And oh, you see another truck. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Chad Hawkins is in the wall. That's our first caution of the day. Big wreck for him. Well, they actually may have cleared themselves out. Oh, and it involves Larry Fairman as well. Okay, well, we'll go back quickly and check exactly what happened there.
Got to take a look at this replay here.
Let's see.
Larry Fairman there with tons of damage. Here's the replay. Let's take a look right here. You see the 99 of Fairman.
That might be too far. Yeah, that's too far. Hold on, everybody. Too far back here too?
Oh, technology.
Oh, you gotta exactly. It says it sends us to one spot, and it's gonna send us to another spot here. Let's see if we can get a general. Okay, I guess not. We'll try one last shot here, see if this works to see what all happened to Chad Hawkins and Larry Fairman, but it's not off through here to the front stretch. Oh, I think it might have. Oh, Chad Hawkins is just trying to react to the truck in front of him and lost sighting as to where the wall comes back out, which is so tricky here. Oh, wait, now we do have a caution.
Caution here on lap 19 out of 75. First caution of the night here from Wagoner Speedway.
And the 52 of Richard Hartman, who started this race in fourth. I think that's that blue truck at the bottom there. Oh, I think that's the 7 of Brandon Etheridge. Gets into the wall, same situation, and it's going to come down and just completely destroy the 52 of Richard Hartman. All right, well, that was quite the the impact there. Alrighty. Well, want to thank everybody else for coming in tonight again to the YouTube chat. We have our first caution of the evening with an incident there for the 7 of Brandon Etheridge, who is new here on the season, and for the 84 of Chad Hawkins. You see Matthew Gall, I don't know what happened to him, if he missed the start, had any issues. He has not been on the lead lap at all throughout. Doesn't look like we're going to have any takers here for pit lane, so we're going to go ahead and bring in Mr. Barker here for his interview. Chris Barker, this is Angel and Daniel here in the SRM broadcast booth. You got us?
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, you got yourself going a pretty nice start. You started on pole, and you've led from, if not every lap, just about every lap here. This started off nicely. What's the plan here to continue to try to finish in the same spot?
Just stay where we're at. I got my teammates right behind me, so we're trying to come up with a plan.
There you go. That's what we love to hear, trying to come up with a plan. So, Chris, so far coming into this to this race, leading the points only by 2. However, how can you plan to really try to keep that point lead over Jeffrey Ledford, who's right there in third?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Just trying to finish. We got one fast repair, so I'd rather finish in the middle than not finish at all, if it comes down to it. So
there you go. That absolutely sounds like a plan. And then from there, Chris, we know we were out here 2 weeks, back at it again. Does it throw you off a little bit having had that extra week off, trying to get back into the groove, or do you feel like, hey, that week was a nice week off, and now you can go back to focus on racing?
Oh yeah, it was nice. It's fine for sure.
All right, well, we do appreciate it, Chris. We know we're going to be 1 to green here, so we'll let you go back over. Good luck, and hopefully we get a chance to still talk to you at the end of this one as our race winner.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, we'll send Chris over back here to his team. So, well, let's see. The side by side again, we have Chris and Steven Shu, and then Jeffrey Ledford, Tim Richardson, Chris Ramsey, restarting in 4th, and then Tim Richardson there in 5th with Matthew Ace there on the outside. The Roughneck Racing League, they're definitely making their moves little by little here. Again, James Wagner's Welding has been a big help sponsoring the entire season for them, so a big shout out. James, again, that's why you can tell everybody so eager to have that 4 wide salute for you before this one started. But yeah, they got a lot of things moving. They got a couple of things that they're getting prepared, getting built up that they are definitely excited for. So if you've enjoyed the racing, want to be a part of it, reach out. You can reach out to us. We'll get you in contact with Tim if you're not able to get in contact. But yeah, Daniel, I'd say a race even like tonight, already a third of the way through, we had some pretty fun action to the start of it.
It's going by very fast. As you see, pace truck coming off pit road, getting ready to get going on this restart. Christopher Barker is going to lead the field, the green. Oh, let's go from Atlanta.
Yeah, there we go. The first couple drivers going to kind of make it mostly single file. Actually, a lot of these drivers are going to try, and they talked about it, trying to make it to the end of this race today. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now. A lot of these drivers just being patient, and that's a great way to learn how to race, especially a super speedway race, is to be patient. It's going to be your best friend, especially here towards the end. And you see at least a couple of these drivers. Now, what it is interesting to me is that the top 9 drivers did not pit. So half of the field pit, half the field did not. Almost surprising. I feel like I would have wanted that set of tires, but maybe these guys really felt like that they wanted to stay in front of everything. What do you think about that, Daniel?
It really depends on how you're racing your truck right now, because on these super speedways, you don't have to. We're not running full throttle, so your tires aren't going to be going as fast as, let's say, Talladega or Daytona, for instance, because you're not on the throttle fully. So I can see why some of these drivers are going down pit road, getting tires. Hey, we're mid-pack right now. Maybe if we get a set of tires on, make a few little adjustments, we can work our way up to the front. Now, the advantage is that they have fresher tires than the drivers that didn't come down pit road. So with the fresher tires, you're going to have a little more grip. You're going to have more momentum going forward. Now, for the drivers that are on old tires, they're going to probably start falling a little off. Probably going towards the middle of the pack. Depending, though, they could stay up here. Even though they have older tires, they could stay up here because, they're getting pushed by their teammates. They are using the draft very well. And you see most of these drivers now making moves here on that outside line. That is the 30 truck of Tim Richardson.
Yeah, he moves right up to the outside. He needs a little bit more help if he's going to want to be able to make it a little further. I do see actually the 96 of Matthew Ace also running that same paint scheme there for James. So love to see that even there on a different truck where need be. Right now, what's really interesting to me is the fact that this outside lane, as you keep saying, somebody keeps trying to develop it. You see Dalton Steele now move to the outside. We know he knows how to win around a place like Atlanta, but man, you really got to get some people that are aggressive with that drafting, and that third truck is just as important as that second truck for drafting purposes.
Dalton Steele is another driver, Angel, that we have talked about a lot this season. He's got wins. He's shown that he can compete in the trucks level. Can he move up to another level? Sure, why not? He's proven to us that he's been dominant here in the truck series so far this season. Potentially get another win here at Atlanta, because it's anybody's race. It's a super speedway race. There could be a wreck on the final lap. You could be the next driver literally leading the race towards the checkered flag. So it's anybody's race at this point, but you see most of these drivers using that inside line, all very organized. You see right now, 45 of Dalton Steele now jumping to the inside line there, trying to stay in the front there, not fall back. Now he's going back to the outside.
Back up to the outside, and then as previously mentioned, where they only have one faster pair, something to know as this league typically has 3 faster pairs, so deciding to do something a little bit different here for Atlanta. And so I think it's part of the reason why maybe some of these drivers are a little bit more calm, knowing that they don't have the extra faster pairs like usual. And really, a faster pair, you kind of need it more at Atlanta than you need at a lot of tracks because of the high speeds here. You really can't afford to have any type of damage whatsoever because it'll really affect your truck in a bad way. It's a 26. Oh, a 26, and they lose it.
26 saves it.
What a save. They're dooring each other back there. Everybody's trying to hold on, and they'll do it somehow. Unbelievable.
Wow, very great save there from the 26 of Jonathan Vandenberg.
Yeah, and so it was a couple of different things that happened there. I don't know which, I can't remember exactly which truck was it in front of him that he had to react to, and it's just a chain reaction is all that ever happened. So let's talk about these drivers are giving each other that room. Well, as you see, the 66 and the 3 dooring each other a little bit in 1 and 2, but that's part of the fun here as well. But these drivers are fighting hard for every spot, but at the same time trying to find the balance of not using up their trucks and that just coveted faster pair, trying to make it to the end of the race. And you see a lot of these drivers kind of fan out in this front stretch here. That's going to be partially because of their tires for some of them and how it's finally handling after so many laps, but also just the momentum that you're carrying off of the turn. Sometimes as you're lined up behind someone that they may not have that same momentum, so you just kind of fan out a little bit so that you don't have to just hit the brakes, but at the same time you can just kind of keep everything calm and safe as they're driving through.
Stay calm, cool, and collective. Drive safe because you only have one faster pair, like you mentioned, Angel. And once that one faster pair is used, you're done. After that, if you get involved in a wreck where it's really bad, you could potentially get a DNF, and that is what we don't want. You want to get as many points as possible. Again, it's a very tight points battle for the top 3 right now, literally separated by 2 points. So you want to race clean, don't make anybody else upset, try different moves, risk it at the end, because potentially that risk can earn you a big reward, which means points and a trophy at the end. But right now, the 46 Christopher Barker leading this field, leading pretty much every lap here tonight, which doesn't surprise me.
What to say when it talks about adding to the trophy list, probably the second most popular driver tonight behind James Wagoner is Jimmy Rowdy, and then number 29 always has a ton of drivers rooting or with him or with them, and or fans, I'm sorry. And right now he is their biggest mover, up 13 spots, back up to the 4th position, looking to find his way back into victory lane. He was the last winner for the Roughneck Racing Series 2 weeks ago, and he'd love to make his way back up there. Again, thank you everybody. We have a ton of people in chat with us in YouTube. We absolutely love it. Andrew, welcome again. Thanks to have you. As always, still missing you out here. Last year's champion, just with his work schedule, unable to. Oh, and there goes Dalton Steele in the 66 of Jason Kinney. They made a little bit of contact there in 2 and 3, or 1 and 2. I wasn't sure if Jason would be able to hold on to it. Great job there, and not wrecking the field as they'll go 3 wide and 3.
Look at all the positions at 66 and Jason Kinney now. And it looks like we have another truck against the wall. It makes contact with the 26 of Jonathan Vandenberg.
I did say that the 7 of Brandon Etheridge was given an EOL at that last caution for having caused that previous wreck. We have more of those updates now. They have had a dedicated race control, but now as we get more used to having him around, we're able to discuss things with him. We'll have hopefully more answers for you guys throughout the race when need be. Well, Daniel, we're already halfway through the race here. These drivers are starting to show that. I think that they're aware of it because they're getting a little bit more racy here. As you see this outside lane starting to develop even with only 2 trucks moving along.
Well, we're going on lap 40 out of 75. So that means we have 35 laps to go here at Atlanta. Once again, laps winding down very quickly here. Only one caution here tonight. As you can tell, multiple drivers making different moves here, making aggressive moves. Now the outside lane is side by side with the 46 of Christopher Barker. They're side by side going into turn 1, potentially going 3 wide, but they're going to keep it 2 by 2, heading out of turn 2.
Man, look at who's made his way back up. The 66 in that in that truck. He's a little bit loose back there, but he's found his way back up almost to the 6th position for a moment. But that outside lane is moving, and you have the number 19 of Rick Baldwin in his number Toyota Tundra. Oh, we got
multiple cars involved here.
Were they wrecking, or are they trying to come to pit lane? I don't know what was happening there.
So much to unfold here. Second caution of the night here on lap 41 out of 75 with 34 laps to go. We're going to take a look at this replay coming up here. See multiple drivers coming down pit road. You see the 13 there. I see the 26 with damage. 45. Looks like he just came off pit road.
Yeah, we're going to try to figure out what all exactly happened here. So this is the drivers coming off of turn 2. So the focus will be here in 3 and 4. So as they get here into turn 3, I'll go ahead and slow it down. I mean, it looks like that the goal is, in fact, to pit maybe, because you see the distance between him and the 00.
They were coming down pit road. Too much aggression here.
Oh, the 29 gets into the back of the 01, and the 66 has to get shoved out. So really, the only one who really made it was the 00 and the 46. So now everybody else coming down pit lane. I don't know where this is going to filter some of these drivers back out because they pit under caution, but I don't know if pit lane... I don't know how it's going to work with iRacing right now, so we'll give it a moment. While they figure that out, we'll go ahead. And actually, we're not going to take a commercial break only because these the caution laps around here are a lot quicker than normal. So these two trucks you see up front here, that is Jeffrey Ledford and Chad Hawkins, who are not on the lead lap. Of course, they're trying to get their wave arounds. And yeah, it looks like this is going to trap Chris Barker a lap down. Your pole sitter.
Not what Christopher Barker wanted to happen here tonight on 33 laps remaining in this event. Christopher Barker, our pole sitter, going a lap down. Not what we expected at all, but when we go back green, we're going to have Dalton Steele and Rick Baldwin on the front row. 2 Toyota Tundras. Tundra's been really dominating tonight, Angel. Haven't seen much of a Ford up front lately. We have seen Chevys up here too, but mostly Toyotas are dominating this race tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. We have not seen really a ton of Fords. Matthew Gall, usually one of our top ones, and again, not sure the issues for him getting into tonight's race, in which he was not. He's not been on the lead lap, so. Andrew, I'm sorry. I just saw the YouTube chat. He says he misses talking to me every race because he used to win them all. You did win a lot of them, but let's not forget that Dalton Steele had almost as many wins, if not maybe one less than you last season. So he was doing pretty good there. Yeah, you're right. Foothills definitely has some big trouble trying to hit pit lane, and we talked about it hitting green flag pit stops. We didn't mention numbers, but yes, that was the cause of the caution, green flag pit stop, something that not every driver is always prepared for, and I say that from personal experience. I'm the worst at green flag pit stops. Daniel, I'll let you take us away.
Green flag back in the air from Atlanta. Could be our last one. Dalton Steele and Rick Baldwin. As you can tell, the 45 going to the outside line.
I'll tell you a couple drivers who do not hope that this is the last one. Brandon Etheridge, Chris Barker, Chad Hawkins, these guys that are one lap down that they want to be able to get back on the lead lap. They're going to need a caution, hopefully, so that they can get that opportunity. But they'll also be racing each other for that lucky dog position.
They sure are. As you see the snake formation now forming here on lap 45. Now up to speed. Multiple drivers drafting with each other, pushing each other aggressively, trying to get to the front with the 45 of Dalton Steele and Rick Baldwin in 1 and 2. Right behind them, and then lucky number 30 is Tim Richardson. Hopefully he can get one done here for Jordan tonight. Currently sitting P3.
Yeah, he is right there. Tim is trying to make James proud and trying to get that win right now, sitting in the 3rd spot. He said it before the race. He doesn't really plan to just sit back and do nothing and just kind of relax. He plans to be up front as much as he can, and he stayed up front here in this lead pack, and right now running 3rd, doing a great job. But I'll tell you, the man of attrition is that number 66 of Jason Kinney. I want to work with him. That man knows how to find his way back to the front, no matter what is happening.
That 66 machine has actually worked his way up to the front multiple times here tonight. Got into the wall, went all the way back, got out the draft, went all the way back, and all of a sudden he just comes out of nowhere once again up front here. Currently P3, made up 11 spots so far, running very well. As you see, there are 2 lines forming right now. You see 4 trucks on the outside and 5 on the inside there. They're side by side, but that 66 machine is going forward. Currently right now P3.
P3, we'll see how much longer it's going to be. P3 is there fighting hard for it, but right now they are still behind Dalton Steele and Rick Baldwin, who that caution really worked out for them because they had not pitted there, and they were able to come back around and retain the lead when doing so. So that really worked out for those 2 Toyota drivers. Dalton Steele looking to continue to add his numbers and pull away there from you, Andrew, when it comes to career win totals in the Roughneck Racing Series. Of course, I know you just got to get back in and maybe try to catch back up.
Don't count out another driver I want to mention here tonight is Matthew Ace, another strong performer here all season so far in this Roughneck Racing Series tonight. Another driver, potentially a spoiler for the win, so we have to keep a close eye on him tonight as well as he makes aggressive moves on these super speedways. Right now, the 45 of Dalton Steele still leading the pack here. Top 2 single file as they're battling for 3rd, coming out of 4 with the 66 on the outside. On the inside of him is the 30 of Tim Richardson. Still battling side by side going into turn 1.
Yeah, we have 26 laps to go now. This race coming to a close end, and these drivers are fighting hard to see what they're going to be able to do. And it looks like for even that last, everybody's aware. But again, Super Speedway race shouldn't be any problem. He's already made his way back up a couple of spots here to the 10th position and looking strong right now. Again, 25 laps to go now. Got some time before we really got to start making your way through the field. As the 3 of Greg Jolly had to pit. I'm not sure what happened there. How about that one? Got a little distracted sometimes when you have the headphones in and you hear the fireworks going off from Disney and Universal in the background. It just throws me off. I just hear the thumps. You don't see anything. You just hear the thumps, and you're like, "What in the world is that?" I gotta kind of pause everything for a moment. Oh my goodness.
That outside line now falling back a little bit, but that is due to the fact that there are more trucks on the inside and well organized as well. So now the 66 is falling back. He's going to have to find another way to get back up here. Here he comes. Let's see if they can get up to the front.
Yeah, the 66 with the blinking, it definitely doesn't help. And you see it a lot more in these super speedway races because of the fact that you have so many more drivers on top of each other when it comes to the actual sim and the way it's trying to register all the trucks. And so, unfortunately, some end up having that. I personally know, having had those issues previously, but it seems to stabilize itself at least every once in a while, as long as maybe we don't talk about it too much and jinx it. As he's trying to, but that does affect the way that the outside lane run, though, because when you have that truck blink out for a moment, that's a moment in which you're not having that extra draft for help, especially with him leading. If he was the 4th or 5th truck in line, it'd be okay, but being anywhere the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd truck, it could affect him negatively. But he's not disappearing for long periods of time. I think that it should be okay for the line itself, as we're now 21 laps to go.
It should be fine. It should be fine, like you said, Angel. Great racing going on here tonight. I expected a lot more cautions, but, these guys are proving me wrong. They have grown throughout the season. Right now, here on lap 55 out of 75, doing very well here tonight. As you can tell, we are now double file. Whoa, you see right there, another truck driver getting loose on that apron. Not what you want to do here on the super speedways.
Nope, and you're going to see where these... Oh, that 70 right up against that 66. The 66 is, doing everything he can. He's like, I got to stay right up on top of you. 20 to go now. The side drafties, you're going to see a lot more. These trucks are going to be a lot closer to each other. Trying to get as much side draft as possible. Side drafting is not necessarily helping you to go faster. Just trying to slow some of those other drivers down by dumping some of that dirty air on the spoilers of their truck that really helps slow them down. And man, I think the trucks are probably the biggest and greatest example of side drafting that you can have, because of course, the dependency.
The truck side draft very well.
It is phenomenal. It is phenomenally well how they're able to do it. My question's almost gonna be the last pit on lap 40. Are we gonna have to see green flag stops again?
Well, that is up to the driver, because, they can save fuel here by not running full throttle. So, that's very difficult for the 45 right now, Dalton Steele. That's because, he's running out front. He's got to have his foot to the gas no matter what. Yeah, he's lifting a little bit, but he's using more gas than any other driver right now. You always are if you are the leader. But these other drivers, they're saving a little more, and that's because, they're not on the throttle fully. So, yeah, I think it's getting very close. As you see, we're riding on board here for 45 of Dalton Steele. Look how he's hugging that inside line there. Not going anywhere. You see how nice his truck's turning. And he's going over those bumps, and some of those bumps, man, whew, let me tell you, they upset your truck.
And it's insane having a freshly paved track and having those bumps. I can't wait to see what those bumps do when this track is 15 years old from that Georgia sun and snow.
Jerome Cooper on board out of Lakeville, Minnesota.
U.S. Army vet, Jerome, want to thank you for your service. Absolutely. That is, and anybody else, whether you're racing or watching us tonight, of course, as always, thank you for your service. Listen to, that's what I want everybody to listen to. Listen to the throttle and the patience still. And really, of course, you have not much of a choice, but listen to the throttle here. 15 to go still. And then you look at the right side, you can see where that blue line is. You can see it slightly moving as the miles per hour kind of drops. That's where he's just slightly letting off. It's only about 5 to 10%. It's not a ton of let off that you get.
They're really not letting off that much, and especially now if we go back to Dalton Steele later on, you can see him not letting off that much. You can see he's only letting off like 2% here. He is, like I said, leading, using that throttle the most. throughout this whole pack here, and that is because he wants to keep the lead. So he's going to use more fuel than everybody else. See, we're on right now with Johnny first.
Yeah, we want to get to somebody who's on the outside lane here. There you go. Here goes the 96 in front of him, Matthew Ace. All right, we're going to pull back on here. That was my favorite view because I'd probably rather be racing. You know, I love to be racing, but. Oh no!
30 of Tim Richardson's in the wall. He's going around. That's
we jumped out.
7 and 58.
Just at that right time there.
Very unfortunate for the 30 of Tim Richardson, who was looking about to win this race with just 11 laps to go at the line. Now all the way back to 13th there. There is the 30 truck of Tim Richardson. Doesn't look like a lot of damage, but that back does have a lot torn up. Let's take a look at this replay.
They have one fast repair, so for those of you rooting on that number 30, his chances are not quite over. Let's see exactly what happened here. Oh no, it's just absolute awful netcode right there. He still had like a foot between the two of them. He was just trying to do what was some pretty solid side drafting there.
Netcode is always involved here on these super speedways. Very unfortunate for those drivers having a solid run here tonight at Atlanta. Now is the question, do we see most of these drivers pit? Well, if the 45 of Dalton Steele comes down pit road, let me tell you, the rest of the field will. If the 45 does not choose to come down pit road, I expect them to stay out. So, with 10 laps to go, you see some more truck drivers coming down pit road right now, getting service done to them. Right there's the 46 of Christopher Barker.
I'm thinking he should be the lucky dog. There he is, yeah. So the 46, much needed break for him. So this is going to be big for him to be able, because he was trapped a lap down while his second place in the points, Jeffrey Ledford, was not. So Jeffrey had a big opportunity to make up a lot of points. Now again, a lot can happen here, of course, over the final couple of laps, but big break there for Barker. Now, let's see if, well, nobody's pitting, of course, in the front, so that means definitely fuel-wise, they have to definitely be able to make it to the end. My question is going to be, absolutely, you're right, handling-wise, 10 to go. I know it's only been 20 laps or so, but still makes you wonder whether or not how those tires are going to feel. Because let's see, 7th place is the first truck with fresh tires. Now again, it's not like a track like Kansas or Homestead where 4 fresh tires is going to blow you past the field. No, not necessarily, especially for Atlanta. But what it does do is it does give you a little bit more comfortability, in my opinion, to make some of those more aggressive moves with some of those fresher tires. But you also got to remember, you got to wait a lap or two. These cool tires are very, very unpleasant. I feel like they're almost worse in the trucks than they are on any other truck vehicle we have here on iRacing. And look at that, we are 1 to green.
They are, as you can tell, the field now bunching up. Gonna resume racing with 8 laps to go here from Atlanta Motor Speedway in the James Wagoner Welding 115. Just got done with another incident that we didn't expect to happen here. Unfortunately, Netcode did play in that. Right now, you see top 2 once again, Toyota Tundras. Dalton Steele in the 45 in that bright orange and yellow machine on the inside. On the outside of him is Rick Baldwin in the number 19, currently P2. Row 2, we're going to have Jimmy Rowdy, another strong driver looking to get another win here this season with Jerome Cooper, a Ford, inside the top 5. So Ford could potentially win tonight.
Well, and then you mentioned those Fords earlier, but Andrew wanted you to know, because I know you weren't here last season, so this is not your fault for knowing. But a Ford didn't win a championship last season. He just wanted to remind you. Andrew himself, of course, being last year's champion, as previously mentioned. One of the admins here for the Roughneck Racing Series, his work schedule will change, taking him away from Wednesday nights for the time being. Pace truck is down, ready to go. Green flag racing as they go to the Geico restart zone. One green flag, 8 laps to go here before the end of this one. Dalton Steele, clears for first. He moves up to the outside in front of his teammate. They drive to the bottom now with Jimmy Rowdy. Look at he's made his way back up to third.
Top 5, single file right now. Look at that outside line there. There they go. They're going to start making a second row pretty soon here. Try to get up to the front, but that inside line's going to have the momentum. Now losing a few truck drivers, and how that's going to even out the playing field here. As you see, the 13 of Chris Ramsey up there trying to get to the front, but it's going to be the 45 of Dalton Steele leading this lap.
Oh no, they went 3 wide, heavy contact with the outside wall for multiple drivers. Oh, Chad Hawk. Oh, Chris Barker.
Barker.
Oh my goodness, that's just going to destroy the front end of that truck. And that one was, we saw that happening almost just a little bit before that. Trying to see, because it wasn't these drivers. Here we go, right here, where these drivers, they go 3 wide. 13 gets into the 0-0. Then the contact. Oh, the 58 of Johnny Hurst, nowhere to go for him. The 0-0 probably had no steering. Oh, and it just shoots the 84 up. I think the 84 got some. Poor, awful break there for Chad Hawkins.
Very unfortunate for the 46 of Christopher Barker. Our Pulse, they're literally having a good first half one at Atlanta. Unfortunately, got a lap down, got his lap back, and now involved in a wreck. Not the night he wanted.
Oh, not the night he wanted at all. Just so everybody's aware, we do get 2 green-white checkers. This shouldn't be. We have 6 to go. 5. We might have
4 to go.
Oh, what in the world just happened to this
my.
70? The 70 just kind of... Did he hit debris on the track? This isn't...
Gotta take a look at a replay. That is very unfortunate. We never see that happen here under caution. Oh, my.
Oh, it was from behind. I couldn't see that. Oh, and that's going to give heavy damage to the 30 as well for Tim Richardson. Everybody checked up right there. That's going to cause some issues for some of these drivers. And it looks like the 52 of Richard Hartman, he'll be the beneficiary of that last caution, and he will get the lucky dog. I believe this puts him back on the lead lap. All right, we'll hold on from there. So 5 to go. We'll have 4 to go this time. So, yeah, we should have 3 to go when we go green flag racing again. I'm expecting it to go 1 to green here, which means that we still have 2 green-white checkered attempts should we need to use them. If we need 1, maybe, but I don't think we'll need more than 1.
I don't think we're going to need 1.
All right, we'll wait for this iRacing.com pace truck to go. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was going to say for a moment. Oh, maybe we're not going to 1 to green. A little bit delayed getting those lights turned off. 1 to green here. Dalton Steele, Rick Baldwin in those Toyota Tundras up front. Got Jimmy Rowdy, our last winner in the Roughneck Racing Series 2 weeks ago. Jerome Cooper in 4th, and then Tim Richardson in 5th. I have to wonder how if those drivers will be affected by damage at all. I thought the 70 lost the bumper, but he looks like he has a bumper, so that might have been more more, and I say net code in the sense of it showing that it was worse damage than it actually was. I've definitely seen that happen before.
It sure does happen. And Angel, guess who's currently 5th? Tim Richardson in the 30. Let's see if he can make a wild move and potentially win this race
really, all it's gonna take is just one crazy thing to happen. And so what I'm interested in seeing here is what's gonna do. Where is the victor gonna come from? What row here is our winner gonna come from?
Well, nobody knows. Here we go. We're going to resume with 3 laps to go here from Atlanta. Dalton Seal on the inside. On the outside of him is Rick Baldwin in the 19. Let's get her done at Atlanta. 3 laps remaining here. Dalton Seal going to the outside.
Well, I don't know if in our YouTube chat can we make 4 more. If you're referencing the green white checkers, the drivers themselves might not want them. I mean, maybe anybody but the winner. But wow, you see Jimmy Rowdy, he's got a big run here on the inside. He's trying to find something to do, but again, he managed to get underneath the 19, who is teammates with that 45, so he's got a way to separate the teammates. Unbelievable by the 29. He separated the teammates up front.
Look at Tim Richardson back there. If something happens to these 3 up front, he could potentially win here. But he is now falling back. Now currently 6. But that 29 of Jimmy Rowdy is all over the 45 of Dalton Steele coming down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he's going to make the smart move. He can't just stay behind and in between the teammates. He gets to the outside in front of Jeffrey Ledford. Can they get enough of a push there from the 00 Steven Shue behind to make it happen? White flag here for the Roughneck Racing Series at Atlanta.
White flag in the air. 45 Dalton Steele leading the pack in turns 1 and 2. Right there on the outside, you see the 29 and Jimmy Rowdy. They're side by side going down the back straightaway. It is literally a drag race heading into turn 3. Side by side coming into turn 4. Here they come off turn 4 for the final time. Side by side, 45 goes around. Oh, one's around. This is incredible finish. The 29 of Jimmy Rowdy is going to win here at Atlanta. Oh my, Angel.
We're going to have to go back into that. The camera zoomed in at just the wrong time there to see what a fantastic finish that we were going to have. We'll go up to the top view here to see exactly what happened to these drivers. Hard action. Jimmy Rowdy, he's got the push here from the 01. Right here, he's got, they're just going to slide up. That's where the big contact happens. They all wreck behind him, and Jimmy Rowdy easily clears for first. And Johnny Hurst, he's going to, where was Johnny Hurst?
Johnny Hurst, man.
Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Johnny was 8th.
He went from 8th to 2nd in a matter of 2 seconds. Ryan on board here. Look at this. Inside, going outside, in the middle. Second.
No, he definitely was wishing maybe that first driver was involved in well. Unbelievable. Jimmy Rowdy's going to manage to make it back to back. 2 weeks later, we got to bring him in here for this interview, but oh my goodness! Here, I gotta find Discord. Hold on, everybody. All right, Jimmy. Let's see. Jimmy, this is Angel and Daniel here in the SRM broadcast booth. You got us?
Yes, I do, Angel.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to etch your name in place here of a podium because you just go out, win one race, you want to go ahead and win them back-to-back, even with a 2-week hiatus. Jimmy, how about that finish?
Oh, I am more hyped, Angel, than I was last week. Because I struggle really bad. If you ask anyone in the league, I struggle really bad on these plate tracks. Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, I struggle really bad, and the 01 there on the last lap was pushing me really hard. I know he was trying to get up there, and I got a little squirrely going into the last couple laps, and I knew he was going to keep on doing that, so I made sure that I was, had a hold of my wheel, there the last few laps, and chaos unfolded coming to the checkered, and I was somehow able to keep it off of everyone and cross that finish line.
Yeah, you, it was, the seas parted behind you with the way they wrecked, and you were just easily able to drive right on through. Well, Jimmy, unbelievable. You go out here and you win it again. A lot of people, of course, rooting you on. Congratulations in the chat. Gotta feel nice. You go out, win, run. You go out, win back to back. Next week, we head to Texas. So, you say Atlanta's not good for you. You said Daytona's not good for you. You won at Michigan. You won at Atlanta. What's Texas look like for Rowdy's schedule?
I'm not that great at the new configuration of Texas. I really struggle with tire wear. And tire wear, yeah,
Nobody
tire
likes
wear, yeah, tire wear is massive there though. I haven't had a lot of success there in any of the leagues I've been in. I've had a couple successes in the officials. That's about it. But other than that, that's been another Achilles heel of mine.
Well, aside from an Achilles heel, this victory pushes you to third in the point standings. Now only 27 points out from Christopher Barker in the lead. So, and well, this also ties you for the most wins here on the season. So let's go ahead and see if we can add to that total next week for Texas. But before you do that, of course, as I mentioned, Kick-Ass Duke, I know you said that's your nephew. Is that?
No, he's a family buddy of mine.
Friendly, but I don't know. I missed it somewhere. I don't know. I do too many of these. I can't remember everybody. But
it's all good, Angel. No big deal.
He said you did show real good resilience, hanging in there after that pit situation to make that work. So go ahead, shout out to those your friends, your family, your sponsors here tonight, so we can let you celebrate another win and one more week to celebrate before we go to Texas.
All right, I just want to give a huge shout out to James Wagner, James Wagner's Welding, James Wagner, Dougie. God, man, y'all give us the Roughneck team some fast trucks week in and week out, and I'm just glad that I was able to bring home a win for y'all this week. Dougie, man, I can't wait for you to be able to be in the truck with us and be in the Discord with us, man. Get better soon, but not too soon. You know, I can't have you crowding my first place spot up here. But get well, man. God, y'all give us such good equipment every week, and it's such a joy to race for y'all and to race with y'all.
And well, we do appreciate it, Jimmy. We love the excitement that we get from the race winners. And hey, man, congratulations! You didn't have a league win a month ago, and you got two now. Congratulations again, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, Angel. And I just want to give Kick-Ass Duke a shout out, man. Love you stopping by for the show, giving me support. Andrew, if you're watching, thank you, man.
He's always watching.
I want to also give y'all a shout out at SRM Media. Y'all do an amazing job. I love watching y'all's, watching replays and stuff. Y'all do an awesome job. It's always a blast talking with you, Angel.
Hey, well, we do appreciate it. Me and Daniel here always love. We always joke. The show you guys put the show on. We just get the opportunity to broadcast it. So, thank you again. Congrats, and we'll see you next week, Jimmy.
All right, thank you again, you guys. I will hopefully be talking to y'all next week.
There you go. All right, that was Jimmy, man. You know he's stoked. He even said, "Man, I'm even more excited than I was last week."
He's ready to go again.
He's ready to go again. He said, "Give me one more race tonight. I'll make them 3 in a row." Well, we'll go ahead and come on. Let's see if it'll let me now. Oh, come on. All right, hold on. All right, Johnny. This is Angel and Daniel here in the SRM broadcast booth. You got us, buddy.
Gotcha, loud and clear.
Well, you're gonna come home second. Certainly happy about. I know you never really want to finish second. You want to finish first. But considering you were 8th going into that final turn, I think second's pretty all right.
I just couldn't get it going the whole race. I don't know what it was. I tried different things. Just could not get something going. Kind of worked my way up to the front tried to work the high side. I just couldn't get nothing going. So yeah, that second was a shock to me.
Yeah, well, and sometimes it's just how it rolls. You know, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, sometimes whatever our strategy, whatever our plan is, just doesn't seem to work out. However, it is nice when it does work out in such a sense. We went on board to see right at the end, just to see your view of everybody just kind of parting ways, and they truly did. But overall, I mean, Johnny, did you guys have any experience with tire wear? Were you guys able to just kind of just pace yourselves throughout the runs?
So I tried to run in the back at the start of the race, and I didn't take tires that first pit stop, and I think that was a mistake because tires, in my opinion, did play a factor. When we went green after that first caution, I was kind of sliding around, and I couldn't get nothing going. So I do think tires was a factor.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where it being a recently repaved track, a lot of people just assume that, hey, tires is going to be just fine. But yeah, tires do still wear here at Atlanta, heat or no heat. Johnny, we head next week to Texas. How does a track like that work for you? We always talk about, and we always joke about how nobody likes Texas anymore with the with the reconfiguration. But hey, for someone has to win the race itself. So how do you plan to go into that race?
Actually, I don't know. I've really not turned no laps on Texas yet, so it's going to be interesting to just see how that plays out and how these trucks do and stuff. So,
well, we know turn one is a lot of patience, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny, I'm sure you got some people. You actually, Daniel, do you have anything for Johnny? I don't see. Actually, don't see our third place driver, so I want to give you, of course, an opportunity then to speak with Johnny before we let him go.
Well, Johnny, I just want to say congratulations from going to 8th to 2nd in a matter of 5 seconds. That was well done there. Are you ready to go to Texas next week? Like, how are your past results there? Are they good? Are they bad?
They're actually pretty good. I mean, I've not tried the trucks there, so I'm anxious. I like Texas. I know a lot of people don't, but I do like Texas. So, but
that alone could put you further ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how these trucks do there. How much different they drive from the Arco or Gen 6 and stuff. So it's going to be interesting.
All right. Well, I want to congratulate you on a top 3 finish here tonight and a crazy finish here from Atlanta. And we'll see you next week from Texas.
Yep. 10-4. I would like to shout out to Dougie real quick. Brother, thinking about you. Love you. Hope you're getting better. So hopefully look forward to seeing you back on the track sometime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate that. We're definitely sad not to have him out on track tonight, and a big shout out to him. That 4 wide salute was beautiful without a doubt before this race. Thank you again, Johnny, and hopefully we get to talk to you from Victory Lane next week, Texas.
Let's hope so. See you.
All righty, buddy. We'll see you then. All right, well, that was your second place finisher. I don't see Jerome Cooper here, our third place finisher in chat. So let's go ahead and go over our final results for tonight's race. Jimmy Rowdy taking home victory number 2 here on the season. Johnny Hurst in second. Jerome Cooper in third. Larry Fairman in fourth. Tim Richardson still going to come home with a nice top 5 finish. That'll help his point situation as well, still in the top 5 in points. Chris Barker would come home to recover in 6th. Chris Ramsey in 7th. Steven Shue in 8th. Jonathan Vandenberg in 9th. And Jeffrey Ledford will round out your top 10.
Just outside the top 10. 11th, we have Rick Baldwin. 12th, Richard Hartman. 13th, Dalton Steele. 14th, Matthew Gall. 15th, Chad Hawkins. 16th, Jason Kinney. 17th, Matthew Ace. 18th, Brandon Norridge. And 19th, Greg Jolly.
Oh, what a fantastic, exciting race we had here at Atlanta. Do appreciate everybody joining us tonight, getting in chat. It was a ton of fun. Love to see all the interactions. Love to get to do so. I'll do my best to try to interact a little more as we go through. As we mentioned, next week we will be at Texas Motor Speedway. We talk a lot of crap. It can be a fun race as well to watch. There's been some exciting races that we've been able to put on here on Iracing, so we can look forward to that without a doubt. And then of course with an exciting couple weeks after that. I want to thank everybody again for joining us here tonight. And again, big shout out to Dougie. We are without a doubt missing you. Loved this 4 wide salute that we got to do, and Tim Richardson driving the number 30 in your honor. Again, everybody, thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, whatever you have to do, get those bell notifications running here for the Sim Racing Media Network. So much action that we have going on here throughout the week. We have some racing going on just after this as well on our YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out. Daniel, you got anything else going on here this afternoon, or this evening, or are you all set here as well?
I'm all set. I'm ready to go to Texas and get my cowboy boots and hat.
There you go. I'm ready to get my cowboy boots and hat as well. Well, we want to thank everybody again for joining us tonight for the Roughneck Racing Series here on the Sim Racing Media Network, live from Hampton, Georgia for Atlanta Motor Speedway. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.